Go, baby, come on! Hey, let's be home. Let's go. Come on now. Hey, let's go, boys. Let's go. Hey, beat the ropes on 2, 1, 2. Beat the ropes. Let's go.
Returns is going to be a short end-over-ring kick fielded by Jake Fruit at the 30, straight up the middle. Shotgun set, gets the snap, drops back, looking around, goes middle of the field, loft into course. She stacks, keeps up, makes the grab. 2:48 to go. Back to it. Shotgun snap. Drops back now. Lofts it. Looking for Moses on the screen pass. Gets out of the would-be tackler. Moses keeps the feet turning up the middle. Barker looking back. Now he's going to hand it off to Moses. Moses, he's got the first down, I think. Close to first down yardage. Up to the 15. It will be pistol set here. As it will be a fake on the handoff. We got a little reverse action coming to Black G-Stack. Out the 45, shooting around in the corner. We're down to territory, up the 40, up the 30. Jimmy comes down and down right down the... He has over 100 yards total on the game. And shotgun set here for Dalen. At the 26 of Hamilton, across the Jersey Post 50. And Luke Dalen makes a man win. Red zone. Personal sack here for Dalen. Snaps it, hands it off Moses, up the middle. Moses. Weston back to it for the ball. Shotgun set. And the Bulldogs right in the Second and 10 from the 37. Weston goes that one. He should have been down if he grabbed that. Comes to the screen pass, roll up. He's got basically snuffed out that screen play the last couple of times. And kick. She-Stack will look to return it at the 35 and up to the 45. Spins out of a tackle and will get brought down right there. She-Stack with a good return on the play. Red zone. 1:41 to go in this third quarter. Dalen, it's going to be a handoff. Harmon up the gut. Harmon turning the feet forward just past the 70 seconds to go in this third quarter. High formation. Handoff for Moses. Up the gut. Moses shakes off the defender. Going to be diving forward. Third down. Third and inches. Luke Dalen under center. High formation. Handoff to Missing. Got the first again. Missing. Dalen staying in with two receivers near side and one far side. Dalen backs up, looking around, goes for Moses. Moses has hold it inside the 20. Moses can be stopped. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Whitefish! And Cole Moses hits the free pass to Luke Dalen and goes 47 yards to the house, avoiding defender after defender and able to keep on his feet up to the two receivers here, side shotgun set. This is by 4 and that goes forward. Weston drops back. Bungee back there as well. And we're back from the break here on 102.7 FM, 1240 AM. Outlaw Country is once again the Whitefish Bulldogs comeback attempt falls just short against Hamilton in this non-conference showdown. It was a final score of 27-23, courtesy of that Hill Brothers scoreboard. Hamilton again coming away victorious. It was a tale of two halves though in this one, as the Whitefish Bulldogs, they just found themselves down early, just too big of a hole early in this ballgame. They just couldn't dig their way out of. Did we find out who the starting quarterback is going to be going forward? I'm not necessarily sure. Did we maybe get an inclination of where they're leaning in this game? Maybe. Luke Dalen, at least based on what we saw in this game, seems to have at least grabbed the reins, maybe for now, on the starting job. I'm not saying that Bear Barker doesn't have a shot, but Corvallis game, I have a feeling we'll see them both, but maybe by the Eureka game, we might have our answer. Luke Dalen played that entire second half. Barker got about a quarter, so maybe we got an inclination. I don't know. Bear Barker's going to get plenty of playing time, so is Luke Dalen, regardless of what happens. But maybe, just maybe, I'm a fan of both the kids. I think they're both great young men, but as everyone knows who watches football, you need to know who your quarterback is. But let's go into this. We'll start off with the drive chart and look at some stats, and then call it out after a 1,000-yard touchdown pass call. Back on the board, and the comeback attempt run into a safety to make it 27-17. And then earlier in the fourth quarter, Luke Dalen found Cole Moses on a 47-yard touchdown pass. That cut it to 27-23. That's when you thought Whitefish had the life, when they were making the comeback. Then on the ensuing possession, Hamilton picked off Jake Thu with the interception, and then life. Dogs drive it in. They get past the Jersey Boys 50. They're at about the 31. It gets to be about a 4th and 7 after a delay of game. And then on the final play they choose, they try to go for it all, gunning it down the middle of the field, overthrowing everyone, and that would seal it as Hamilton was able to wind down the clock. A couple of things to take away. Maybe Whitefish didn't have a field goal kicker on that 4th and 12 when they turned it over on downs. Maybe that's why they didn't kick the field goal. Why do you throw it 40 yards down the field when you only need 7 on the 4th and 7? There's a lot to make of that, but it is only the second game. A lot of penalties in this one. We only saw Whitefish commit 3 or 4 against Happer in one half. Well, they committed 9 in this one for 57. Hamilton had 10 for about 62, so both teams pretty heavily flagged in this one. Almost 20 total penalties in this ballgame. Cooper Weston, after an outstanding first half where he went 17 of 22 for 302, in the second half, he only completed 7 passes on 17 attempts, so 7 of 17 in the second half for only about 60 yards. So really like what you saw from defensively from the Bulldogs in that second half. Second half, though, Weston got the running game going. He ended up running for 40 yards in the second half, 30 yards in the second half. He had 45, give or take, on the ground. That's unofficial. He had his running back Widmer with 35 yards on about 9 carries. Saltzman finished with about 25 on 7 carries. So all in all, the Hamilton Broncs with about 95 yards on the ground. Through the air in the quarterback battle for the Whitefish Bulldogs, Luke Dalen finished, I got him for about 4 of 10 for about 62 and an interception. Barker, 5 of 9 for about 79 and an interception. Barker, he had some good passes, made some good plays. Vlad Shestack up the middle. Dalen had a couple of passes that should have been caught that were dropped. His numbers could have looked a little bit better, but for the most part, quarterback's pretty even. Vlad Shestack is the one who I want to talk about real quick. He's your ortho rehab player of the game. He had himself a game. Finishes the game with, I think I had him for 4 catches for about 65 yards. He had 2 carries for 39 yards. Incredible punt returns, a good kick return. Finished the game with over 100 total yards of offense, did Vlad Shestack, your player of the game. But again, turnovers, just the hard to win a game when you turn it over 4 times. Bulldogs had 2 interceptions. They fumbled it once and had a turnover on downs. Those 4 turnovers were huge. Hamilton with 2 turnovers, interception, and a turnover on downs. But Hamilton, you win the turnover battle, especially in high school sports, more often than not, you're going to win the game. And that's what Hamilton was able to do, as Weston finished 25 of 40 for 355, 2 touchdowns passing. He also finished with about 45 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns rushing. All in all, Hamilton with about 400 total yards of offense. Whitefish finishing with about 140 yards passing. And then on the ground, take a look at them. Nissen with 3 carries for 10 yards. Moses, the bell cow, 13 carries for about 77 yards. You had Dalen with 8 carries for 47. Harmon finishes with 7 carries for about 12, so 59. 75 plus 50, 125 or so, 35, 155. Whitefish with, give or take, 250 to 300 total yards for the Bulldogs. So Hamilton with about 450, Whitefish with probably 275 to 300 total yards in this one. So that's going to about do it for me today, as the Whitefish Bulldogs fall 27 to 23. Again, a big thanks to all of our sponsors, more Bulldog sponsors than anyone ever this year. So big shout out to the community for their support. Our scoreboard sponsor, Hill Brothers. This post-game recap brought to you by Scenic Zip Trip and Piggyback Barbecue. The Facebook video brought to you by D.A. Davidson and Companies, Kalispell and Whitefish. Halftime sponsor, Whitefish Credit Union. Player of the game, Vlad Shestack. Ortho Rehab. Timeout sponsor, American Make. National Anthem sponsor, Cowgirl Coffee. Our starting lineup sponsor, State Farm Joe Akey. Highlight sponsor, Exceed Chiropractic. Again, our digital sponsor, D.A. Davidson. The rest of our sponsors, Pin and Q, Three Rivers Bank, M&C Tire, Whitefish Ice Center, Stumptown Snowboards, Glacier Medical Associates, Universal Athletics, National Parks Realty, Whitefish Lake Restaurant, Jersey Boys, Pizza, Great Northern Bar and Grill, Nelson's Hardware, Schillinger Construction, Dalen Dental, Bulldog Saloon Whitefish, Huck's Place, D.A. Davidson, Northern Lights Dentistry, Zatuni Hansen Interiors, and as always, broadcasting live from the Stumptown Ice Den Press Box on this Scenic Zip Trip and Piggyback post-game. I'm Cole Havens, forever to be broadcasting radio network for my fiancée, Brittany Brown. I hope you have a great rest of your night. As always, Whitefish,